accumulation and divided by economic and racial classes within the society. Under this analysis, this country's democracy is wedded to what American politicians label, quote, free market forces. And those who are elected to public office, particularly at the national level, are in effect elected to support and uphold that economic system. Thus, no politician could openly call for public ownership of any of the means of production, and even supporting such programs as universal health care is seen by many as socialistic. Now, people elected to Congress from time to time are called upon to support U.S. foreign military and political interventions that permit continuing U.S. control of resources in the Middle East and elsewhere, as was the case in Iraq. Another analysis, however, points to the fact that the rise of corporate capitalism did not assure political power for a political elite, and throughout American history there have been mass reform movements that have sought to correct the excesses of corporate capitalism. These reform movements are reflected in legislation that seek to regulate corporate greed. Under this analysis, Americans may be divided by economic status and race and ethnicity, but there is a political elite consensus that the free market system provides the greatest good for the greatest number of American citizens. This is essentially the modern pluralist theory in which two segments of a democratic elite that are in agreement on bedrock economic foundations of the country compete with one another for turns at political power, with the differences among this elite being about how best to advance American power in the world. The doctrine that money is equivalent to speech, which is really one of the bedrock positions that I'm going to talk about here in terms of Arab Americans running for office, a position that had been adopted by both the U.S. Supreme Court and the American Civil Liberties Union, is completely consonant with either analysis of the American political system. To discuss the role of money in politics and the laws governing campaign financing, one must look to the Supreme Court ruling in the landmark decision of Buckley versus Valeo. There, the court ruled that free speech provision of the Constitution's First Amendment protects an individual's ability to spend as much of his or her own money as he or she wishes in pursuit of political office. Buckley held that contributions to candidates for congressional office could be restricted, upholding the Campaign Financing Reform Act of 1974. The act provides for limits on individual campaign contributions, for the public disclosure of contributions, and for the establishment of political action committees.